friends, it's Em from Plan with Em, and today we are going to be talking about junk journaling. So, you know how in art they say that there are no rules? In junk journaling, there are quite possibly even less rules, which less than none, I know, super weird. But here, you can do anything. So today, I'm going to be using a lot of paper from the Art Journal of paper pads, but we've got stickers, you could use paint, watercolor, really anything, absolutely anything, no rules. The whole point is that you just sit down and create. There are no right, there's no wrong, there's just this in-between of creative bliss. That's where we want to be living. So let me know down below what you would love to put in your junk journal. If you have a hobby that you've been wanting to sort of work on, for me, definitely watercolor. I would love to fill this with watercolor practice. I think that would be really fun. And then maybe add in some fun paper on top of it, or even some stickers on washi. Ooh, can't forget about washi. So that's where we're at for my junk journal. You also see that Stitch joined us. Stitch was very into the idea. We also had a power outage while we were filming this, so that was very fun. But you'll see that even though I'm using paper in every single one of these spreads in some way, it's not the same. Every single spread is still different, even though we're using the same materials. And so that's what we mean. There's no right or wrong way to set up any page that you do in here. I'm focusing a lot on using calligraphs, just to also practice some hand lettering, because I think that's fun too. But these A to Z stickers are also awesome to incorporate for when you just want a little bit of extra flair. They definitely make it feel a little bit more scrapbooky. So in the printable that goes along with this YouTube video and blog post are going to be tons of creative prompts that'll get you to envision something for your journal. Whether it's a color, your favorite place. You'll see later we make a mountain out of paper, and I think it's pretty fun, pretty easy, and I love how it turned out. Or even just, you know, what's your favorite musical artist? You know, something like that. I think that just however you interpret prompts like that can turn into beautiful works of art. And you would never know that it started with, you know, what's the current season? It's winter, so I'm gonna make a winter spread. Like, it's just fun. I keep saying fun because it's super spectacular amazing. And honestly, everything that you create will be if you have fun while you do it. So since I'm using paper a lot in these crafts, you're going to want to have, if you're wanting to do something like me, some paper, right? So here I'm using Art Journal of paper pads as well as stuff from Kit Club. I also have a corner rounder and some adhesive rollers. You can just use a glue stick though too, and you'll see later I do exactly that. It's just sometimes when you want it like right on the page right then, that's when the adhesive roller is helpful. I also am doing a combination of just ripping and also cutting. So for the edges, I want those to be really precise. So I'm just gonna use some scissors, but I like the internal edges to be really rough. So that's when I'm ripping them. Then we go in and we add stickers, because honestly, nothing makes a spread better than stickers, in my opinion. And so this is like a fun little wintry scene, and we're adding a cute little penguin family and a quote of every winter, I think, must have its spring or has its spring. I don't remember. It was all very outdoorsy. What's also great about junk journaling as a creative practice is that it doesn't require immense focus. So for example, like during this video, I took a phone call from a friend that I wanted to get sort of back in touch with. And so we were just chatting while I was doing my hand lettering and picking out each of the little alphabet stickers. So it was just enjoyable. Like, it felt like we were having our own little casual craft night, even though, you know, she was at her house and I was at my house. It was great. And then that's it. We're adding a little bit of quotes. You'll note that I used different letter stickers. I just wanted it to feel really junky and like collage-y. Next, this is definitely, I've had this in my mind since Art Journal came out with their nostalgia throwback collection. And it's just this like Olivia Rodrigo, Alice in Wonderland thing. And this is almost meditative, honestly. Like, you're ripping the paper, and then we're gonna start drawing some somewhat random black lines all over the page after we glue these in. I think that this would be really fun to do as a planner spread, or maybe even as like a bullet journal setup theme. So that's sort of a fun way for you to get ideas for your journal as well. If you want to do something once and see how it goes, but you don't feel like putting it in your permanent journal, because what if you mess it up? Just have a different one. Just have your creative play journal, right? This is where I can be messy and I can try things out, which, I mean, ultimately, every journal is your creative play journal, if you think about it. But it's good practice when you're trying to get away from those perfectionistic tendencies, which I definitely am. So the hilarious part is that during the spread, I mentioned that there was a power outage. It was right when I started shading in the black squares. So I was like, okay, I need to make this dark. And then all of a sudden, my room was dark and Stitch and I were a little freaked. So the strategy here is just to create a checkerboard pattern with the wavy lines across in the horizontal and vertical directions. But I went a little rogue with it. Mine isn't perfect, and that's fine. I went with some diagonals, and I do think I might have had an easier time if I had drawn the lines at least before I put the paper on. So food for thought. But this is, it's your spread. It's your art. If you are cool, if you want to do this with more colors, that's awesome. If you want to make it so that maybe there's like a big void in one corner and then the checkerboards are coming out of it, also cool. Like, it's your journal, it's your creative direction. You do what you want. I think that this would actually be really fun to do, like a watercolor or gouache checkerboard. I think that'd be fun. You can see I'm already coming up with ideas for my next few pages in my junk journal. You'll note also that I used a B5 for this journal. I just wanted to have more space in case I decided to play around with Dutch doors or like anything that would involve me trimming the journal pages themselves. It also means that all of these A5 paper pads fit perfectly inside in the interior of the journal rather than having to like kind of futz around with where they exactly fit. And the junk journal, for me, it's not really about futzing. It's about, like, if there's a mistake, and it's not a mistake, right? But if there's something that you don't like, cover it up with a piece of paper. Okay? That's fine. Do it. It's like whatever makes your heart happy. This is just about the process itself, really, more than the results. Like, I can see when I look at that like, yeah, there's some stuff in the left corner that it does not match. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to match. It's my journal. I meant for that to happen. It's whimsy. And then we're just doing it again. We're doing something different. Here, I accidentally glued the wrong side of the paper to the page, so I had to cover it up with another piece of paper. Not a big deal. I was like, huh. It's like a cute little exercise in futility. If you can't change it, figure out what you can do. That's something that I have to do to manage my anxiety a lot. It's like, there are so many options of like what could happen. Well, okay, but what am I going to do? I'm going to put that little piece of paper there and I'm going to rip up a mountain. I'm going to put a mountain in my bullet journal because this is my happy place. Out on a hike with like a nice little crisp air. It'd be really great with like a winter, not a winter, but like a starry sky. It's like stargazing, although I don't recommend hiking at night because I feel like you can get lost unless you have a headlamp. If If you have a headlamp, that's cool. Here I'm using a gel pen from Archer and Olive to just add some little stars to the shiny, wonderful blue paper from the Celestial subscription box. And it's just like, look, like, it makes me so happy. They're like, that paper, the mountain, the stars, like, I don't know. I feel like if you've been following this journey for a long time, we've had our ups and downs in terms of mental health, but creating always helps me feel better. Even if I'm not into what I made, just the act of ripping paper and feeling stickers on my skin, like it's just a little bit of dopamine. I just get a little bit of that serotonin in there. And I came downstairs after filming this and I felt amazing. I felt like I had created something, and that's all that really mattered. I made something. I did this. Like, I didn't feel like I had energy to do anything, but I did this. And like, is it a Picasso? No, but it's an M. And then I just lettered on top of it, "The mountains are calling and I must go," which is a John Muir quote. I think he did a lot of nature stuff. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that this inspired you to create something. Be sure to check out the printable for a bunch of fun, weird, and random prompts that will inspire you to create something in your journal. And as always, happy journaling.